I am Rachel, and I'm so happy to be with you this morning and part of the Lane Library's Masterclass Hamilton series. So my husband and I have our own small business here in Hamilton, Ohio. We focus on pet nutrition for cats and dogs, and we're located right here in the heart of Hamilton, Ohio. 139 Main Street is the address, and we're right across the street from the Dollar Tree. So if you find yourself in the area, come on down and say hello. So what we're going to be talking to you about today is all about good nutrition for cats and dogs. What our business focuses on is truly that nutrition. So if you go into a big box store or a grocery store and you see all that food that's out there, it can be very overwhelming and just confusing. So hopefully we can break it down and make it very, very easy for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. What we do know over this past year is that a lot of families have actually expanded with adoptions with cats and dogs, and that's super, super exciting. So if you're not sure where to begin, or if you already have a cat or a dog and you're just looking for a better option, what we encourage you to consider is nutrition, because that is at the core and at the focus of pretty much a dog and cat's best life ever. So what we do that's very, very different from what other folks do are some key things. Number one, we actually make our food fresh every 5 weeks. And so when you think about all those bags that you see in the grocery store, you really don't know when any of that was made. And oftentimes, even if the bag hasn't been opened, the food is continuing to oxidize inside that bag. So with our food, while we're making it fresh every 5 weeks, it's actually being consumed at the peak of its nutritional value so that your sweet little fur baby is getting the most out of it. The second thing that we do is very, very different. It's actually how we cook it. We make it in very small batches, and we cook it at low temperatures for longer periods of time, which makes it very easy for pups and kitties to digest. So think about a crock pot versus a microwave. So we take the crock pot approach, while the industry oftentimes does a lot of flash cooking. So a lot of those nutrients are burned off in the process. We like to retain all of that so that your pups and kitty system can digest all of it. And the last thing that we do, which is actually pretty cool, is we can customize whatever poundage you would need. You can buy as little or as much as you need. So if you've got a little guy and you need a little bit of food, we got you. If you've got a bigger girl and you need a little bit more, we got you. So with all of these things in mind, this serves as the core of pretty much nutrition. So we're going to teach you how to build a better bowl. So starting out, we typically use an 8-ounce cup, so straight across the top. So depending on the weight of the dog, we can help you figure out the math. But what you'll do is use the dry food as the base. Now, the neat thing about our food, because it's very customizable, is that you can add different formulas into the bowl, which is really cool. So for example, right now, we are in basically the height of our allergy season, and we're seeing a lot of itchiness with skin and coat. What you can do is take some salmon and add that into the bowl as well. So you've got a lot of deliciousness right inside here. What we're gonna do is mix all of this up really well. So when we put both of these together, we've got our dry food all mixed up together, which is absolutely delicious. Now, what's important to remember is that variety is the spice of life, and so you can add additional deliciousness and nutrition inside this bowl. What we would encourage you to do is include raw food, because there's a lot of benefits to raw, as well as moisture, whether it's done through water or the bone broth that we have here with turmeric or the salmon oil. Anything to help break down the raw is absolutely critical. When we think about moisture for our cats and dogs, it does help with renal functions. It helps the kidneys operate very, very smoothly. So how this would work is that you can certainly take a couple of these kernels, and you can put it inside a separate little bowl. For the sake of our demonstration, we're actually going to be using some warm water, and you just pour a little bit on there. It doesn't take long for the raw to break in. And then once it starts to reconstitute itself, you'll mix it all together. And it looks like a consistency very similar to that. And what you'll do with this, with the raw and the moisture, is do a pour over to the dry kibble, mix it all up, and then if you're looking for a fantastic garnish, you could certainly use a duck neck, or you could use a duck heart. Right now, since we're in allergy season, there's a lot of inflammation that is happening inside the bodies with all of our dogs. You can look at cooling proteins like duck to help reduce that inflammation. And so by adding in duck and other types of cooling proteins in with the food, you're actually benefiting the dog's internal systems. So if you find out that your pup or your kitty does really, really well on one of our formulas as a sample, what the next step would be is to figure out what a 2-week cycle would look like, and we can help you figure out the math on that. But basically, when you're ready to take that next step, come and visit us, and we will go ahead and grab your order and get it ready for you.